Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the concluding session of Entrepreneurship Week. For the first time, EIC brought to you a mega collaboration with all the domain clubs at IIM Rohtak to build budding entrepreneurs ace the domains for a perfect start. We started with an inaugural session by Mr. Vinit Saxena, co-founder Myntra and Indusjiva. We also covered workshops in strategy, HR, finance, marketing, and analytics in collaboration with different domain clubs at our college. But this knowledge session is incomplete without meeting our very own alumni who have trodden the path of entrepreneurship. For today's session, we have I am Rohtak student alumni body with us. I'll invite Bhagyashree from alumni committee to take over the stage from here.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start the session by giving a brief introduction of our prestigious guests. Today, we have with us Mr. Jaideep Jaiman and Mr. Prateek Singh. Jaideep sir has graduated from our institute in 2012, which was also the very first batch of IIM Rohtak. Sir has worked with various organizations, including Tata, SSIPL Retail Limited, and i3 Consulting. Sir is a quintessential of an entrepreneur. In 2016, he co-founded Evidith System Private Limited, and most recently, he has founded Drew Innovations Labs Private Limited. Drew Innovations Labs is currently building a digital transformation advisory with a focus on machine learning and artificial intelligence products. On the other hand, Mr. Prateek Singh has graduated from our institute in 2016 PGP 5 batch. Unlike most number of students, Sir chose to opt out of the placement process and went on to live his passion as an entrepreneur. In 2014, Sir co-founded Fablox Private Limited. He has also started a venture of warehousing construction business. And in 2015, during his MBA, he founded Animos Energy. Animos Energy offers total energy management solutions to enterprises in the B2G and B2B segment. Jaideep sir and Prateek sir, it's a pleasure to have you as our guest, and we are really grateful that you could take out some time from your busy schedule to be here with us today. Now, we would like to know more about your journey and your very own startups in your own words. So, first, like to request Mr. Jaideep sir to tell something about his journey, and then followed by Prateek sir.
Thanks, Bhagyashree. Nobody ever said such nice words about me. Okay. So yeah, that's good. Off to a good start. So and the second thing I want to request all of you, okay, please drop the word sir. My name is not sir. My name is Jaideep. Okay, and please do so. Okay, it's I mean, थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. Okay, so
Yes.
so what I tell my employees as well, okay, especially people who are coming from esteemed institutes or have a certain educational pedigree, that you should never ever um, have this sir as uh, um, a thing in your dictionary, okay, sir or ma'am. Okay, why so? Is because you guys are brought in on the table primarily for your brain. Okay, so if you guys cannot talk to us as equals, okay, it means you don't have the confidence to be our sounding board. Okay, and you should rather be in some other team. Okay. So as MBAs, now you are part of IIM Rohtak. So I would really request you build it in your behavior and in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you behave with people. That you don't have to use this word, sir. Okay. So carrying on from here. Okay. What has been my journey is, yeah, I think I started being a startup founder even before I am Rohtak. Okay, I have taken very odd decisions, and something like what I heard Prateek has done, as in taking his name off the placement. Okay, I left the job without a job. Okay, and when I was an engineer, I wanted to uh, start up a hot tiffin delivery service. Okay, in Bangalore. Okay, it was very long back. And not only I wanted to do that, I wanted to also open a hostel. Okay. Um, and that was, and I did that when everybody was leaving their jobs. Okay. And then everybody was being fired because it was the time of recession. Okay. So I took plunge in these two startups. At the same time, I was working as an engineer, and also I was preparing for CAT. So I was doing all these four things. Okay, and it was crazy, and obviously I failed. Okay, so uh, so startup journey is primarily about. For me, it has always been about trying. Okay, it doesn't mean you succeed. Okay, but you have to keep trying. Okay, that is one. So yeah, that was my early attempt at startups. Yeah, even before that, even before graduating out of engineering college, there was one more startup idea that I tried to pursue, and that was branded parties. Okay, so you must have heard of Bacardi branded parties, right? So we tried doing that in Manipal, where I graduate from. Okay, and as an engineer, and then I brought those parties to Bangalore. Okay, then sadly I became a digital signal processing engineer. Okay, and yeah, I was happy doing that, but yeah, sadly it happened. Okay. So I got off track from um, entrepreneurship. Then I left that job, okay, to kind of start a algorithmic trading company. Then I joined IIM Rohtak. So so it had strained my finances quite a lot. Okay, so then I thought I thought, okay, fine, I should finally do an MBA and possibly get some job. Okay, so that was then. Then after doing job for a few years, I realized, okay, fine, I cannot do a job. Majburi hai, I cannot do a job. Okay, so then I joined hands with a person with a partner and a great friend named Vikram Gupta. He's a PhD from Carnegie Mellon. Actually, he's a double PhD. I don't know what to call him, doctor or what. Okay. So he has also worked on um, the first automated vehicle financed by DARPA, and we started a video analytics company, okay, which was subsequently financed by Reliance Capital. So we are now a Reliance Capital company. Okay, we always joke about this, that we have been funded by the wrong Ambani. Okay, so that was one. Then yeah, I could have continued with that company. Okay, but um, there is a industry leader who decided who kind of advised me that I should do something else, as in something in analytics. Okay, he's also my first client. Okay, it's right now we are advising this guy is a CMD and promoter of the of a large retailer. It's a $0.5 billion company, and we are advising this company into AI and ML products. Okay, so it's a very traditional retailer. Okay, but they really want to be ahead of the curve with respect to everybody else. Okay, so this person was also my first client, my investor, and that's how the other company got started. Okay? So I have purposely left out my jobs, okay, out of this conversation, okay, because it would have been long, okay, and irrelevant, okay. But I'm happy to answer any other questions. I think that was this that you guys wanted to know about my journey. I'll speak to start with this.
Yes, so like Jaideep said, it's always like, yeah, I had that uh, knack within me too that I didn't want to go for jobs. So while I was in IIM itself, or maybe yes, prior to IIM, I started Fablocks with one of my batchmates from NIT. This company, it makes machines for construction industry, and our aim there is to reduce the child labor in brick kilns. While I was in IIM, the solar fever was actually taking over the country, and I was pretty much interested in entering into solar industry. And at that time, the government had started launching projects in which, entrepreneurs whose companies were small in size, they could enter. So we ended up bagging a project for 2 megawatts in Haryana itself. So this had to be a ground mounted plant, and we had signed a PPA for 25 years. But unfortunately, what happened was, after PPA was signed, HERC, which is Haryana Electricity Regulatory Commission, they came up with a demand that we had to reduce our PPA codes. So PPA is Power Purchase Agreement, and from there on, it got entangled into many fights. And again, then I thought, I'd start with going with rooftop solar, but actually the thing is, this thing, ground mounted solar plants, they are way more profitable if we look at the long term perspective. If we take a long horizon of say 20-25 years, so we kept pushing for ground mounted projects only. So we are into mainly B2G only now. Then I started a warehousing company under my name only, and in that way, we've now built up a capacity of 10,000 metric tons. Our clients are mostly government entities, which are Food Corporation of India and HAFED, entities like that. So planning to expand into that field only. So we are bidding for Himachal and Punjab now, and we also plan to enter into the silos industry in the next 2 years. Other than that, we're also starting with one of my batchmates from NIT Kurukshetra. We're making this social app called Locality, and I'll be sending you guys a link. It's beta phase just put over, so it gives you more. It's more of a community network wherein, say, if we have a typical problem of we don't know what sort of groups exist around us. Say a WhatsApp group would be visible to you only if you're added by someone, or if you know that that group exists. So that it roots out that problem. So it's kind of like Slack, but mostly free as of now. So we would be starting an I am Rota community also for that. I'd be sending across. We are into asset acquisition mode. We are acquiring assets in Uttarakhand as well as Haryana right now. We had planned for this thing to start in March, April only, but because of COVID, this thing got really postponed. But I guess we are hopeful now that by probably second quarter of next year, we'll be entering into hospitality. In that, we are looking at serving the millennials and the Gen Z segment only. So that's that. And yes, like Jaideep said, it it's not something, you start with something, you don't know where you'll be going. You have some things in mind that you'll be achieving this and that. You have this 5-year plan in your mind, but things, you never know, where things might take you. There might be a government ruling, which might, a new rule which comes, or might be a hurdle when you're just about to complete your project. Something comes up, and so you have to adapt according to these situations. You have to be a bit impatient also. I guess being impatient is good for an entrepreneur. So you can't just sit on it. You can't just wait for things to happen. You have to make things happen, and trust what your mentors tell you, and always listen to what an experienced holder has to tell. I think we have that knack. when someone starts telling us something, if he's senior, we think that he's not from our generation, he's not able to understand the nuances, but the basic rules, they always sort of remain the same only. They don't tend to change. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, you've got to keep it in mind. you know Seeking advice from an experience holder, it's always good. Yeah, so that's that. So it's up to Bhagyashree now.
So your journey has been quite amazing for both of you. What were the challenges then when you started both of you when started? Because was it funding, or was it finding the right team, or was it implementing your plan? Starting with the Jadip sir.
One word, everything.
I had the same answer. Trust me, I was about to
It's
say
everything,
everything.
man.
Everything
There
is
is
a challenge.
everything is a challenge. There is no everything that you can think of is a challenge, and everything you can't think of is
You
also
can't
a
think
challenge.
of a challenge. Yes, he's right.
So, and I mean, it's a given, yeah. I mean, uh, you should rename entrepreneurship and make it challenging.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So it's like you think it's entrepreneurship, and you think you can be a Swiggy, you think you can be a Flipkart, you
Yes,
think
yes.
you will be Steve Jobs when you will be on a stage.
Uh,
You think you will be Elon Musk when you will be pitching to investors. सुन भी नहीं रहे हैं वो लोग. Nobody is
yes,
even
yes,
listening.
yes, yes, yes.
There you go to accelerators, you try to pitch yourself. Okay, see, it's a crowd out there. Okay, I went to um, a TIE. I don't know what to the Indus Entrepreneurs. Okay, so the Indus Entrepreneurs is a huge organization of venture capitalists and startup founders and everybody else. Okay, and they organize these big events. Okay, around startup founders. Okay, and investors. So they kind of make them meet to each other. And I went to this one event, and I was literally scared of for my life. Okay, literally scared. Okay, and, me. I mean, like 5'11", 6, and good enough hefty, and I thought that I will completely get crushed in the crowd. Okay, and the TI director, the India director, she's a 60 nearby 60-year-old lady. Okay, uh, she was actually crowd surfing. She was at the gate through which the entrepreneurs have to go in and meet the investors, but she was actually crowd surfing, and I was scared for her that she would die that day. Okay, so that's the crowd. I never went to a startup event after that. Okay, so this is everything you can't even think of. And
Yes,
the guys who were there, as in the crowd, okay, you thought that they would be 22-year-olds, yeah, 22-year-old, 23-year-olds doing startups. No, there are 60-year-olds who are doing startups along with their kids. Both of them are founders.
yes, yes. It's
Okay,
exactly the
so
same.
it's all that, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah. Anything else you want to ask?
Yes,
After you,
I think
Pratik.
you've summarized it very well. In the beginning, we all have these huge dreams, and we are pretty sure that 5 years down the line, I'm going to be there, and then we'll think of the next level. But it's life, and starting in the starting, definitely there's always this huge dilemma whether or not you have to go with the you want to go with partners, or you want to do it alone, or do you want to stay bootstrapped for some time, or let's secure seed funding also as well from a third party. And there's this there are these points where you get really low. if you're able to handle yourself there, I think you'll pretty much make it, to wherever it is that you have in mind. But you've got to just hang in there, and everyone. It's not like we can single out someone who hasn't faced any problems whatsoever, be it in jobs or business. But if you're talking about entrepreneurship, everyone has faced problems, everyone has failed. If someone tells you that, I started this business and we became this big honcho, he's probably lying, or she's not uh, you know
Hello,
Prateek, sir,
I
you're
can't
on
hear you.
mute. Yeah.
Pratik,
No.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect.
Okay, there's so I was telling, you get down, then you get up. You've got to keep yourself going, and you have to be your own motivator. And you've got to find something that you hang on to. In the beginning, I was very very indisciplined. I didn't have any routine. I thought, I should I have routine. I'll do things, at my own will whenever I want to. But having a discipline definitely helps. And don't be shy of anything. Don't be shy of anything. Just go and try it. Yeah, just go and do it for once. The same thing like Jaideep said, when he went to that startup expo, I also went to two or three of such things, and that made me realize that this thing is not for me. Going there, and it's just not realistic to do it that way. It's just you know. People, all of them are thinking that I'll get into this thing, I'll be the one getting it, and then it turns into a chaos. So you want to get out of it. Just keep on working hard. Definitely the people who think that you are good for them in terms of connecting as a business prospect, they'll approach you yourself. And just stay there. There's no need to get disheartened in the entrepreneurial journey. And again, I think it should be named as they say, like UPSC is the hardest. This should be at par with UPSC. This is not anything easier. If you want to make it somewhere, say big. If you want to make it big, yes, it's as tough and as UPSC, but also as amazing. This journey, this lifestyle. If you have a passion, you can always, give it a realistic. You can turn it into reality, and there's no limits. It's only you imposing limits on yourself. So it's both. You have to put both sides of the coin here.
That's great to know, sir. So, as you said that there are so many challenges that you guys faced. So, I would like to know, like, how do you manage to keep yourself very positive, and what makes you continue with your venture? And along with that, I would also like to put a point that, like, has college played any role in that thing, like our MBA college?
Okay. You would not like the answer. It hasn't. But नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. I think I try to help you understand what it is about, because I don't know if any of you have already started or has already have worked in a startup, but I just want you to understand it's a little bit different than what you're imagining. Okay. As in the question was about challenges. Okay. And I really like something that Prateek said. Okay, and it's very, very important, guys. I mean, it's like the important thing if you want to go take something out of this uh, uh, talk is when you get low. Okay. It was really courageous of Prateek to open up about it. Okay. Not many people really accept it. Not many people really open up about it, but it is the thing. It is the thing. Okay. So the startup you are going to start, it will not probably be successful. Okay. There are a lot of I don't know how your families are to your startup, but that becomes quite a big challenge. Okay, they think of startup as okay, fine, एक दो साल कुछ कर रहा है, then तो माल ही माल है. Like, nice. That's not going to happen. Okay. Now, so everything around you is geared up to imagine that you are an MBA, okay, from IIM Rohtak or from an IIM tag, okay. You are going to get a cushy job, okay. Go to vacation in Europe, okay. Come back, have a gala Diwali, okay. Have good time with your kids and wife, okay. Have good time with your friends and family, and you will have the biggest smiles on Facebook, okay, right? That's what everyone around you, your friends, your family, your batchmates, okay, your colleagues expect out of you because you are from an IIM, yeah. That's what they expect, and that's what you expect, okay, and that's how reality shatters, okay, especially if you want to become an entrepreneur, okay, because life is not about that. You discover that life is about different things. This life is about, if you read about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, on the top is self-actualization. Entrepreneurship is about self-actualization. Okay. So, and that is why I think Prateek's statement was very, very important. Okay. Nothing will prepare, absolutely nothing. No amount of knowledge. If you are going into a college, you are actually reading books, right, and giving exams, right? You are elite of the elite, but you are still giving exams. Okay. None of that will actually prepare your attitude towards life. Okay. There is attitude, knowledge, and skills. Okay. You will get knowledge, you will get some skills, but you will not earn that attitude. Attitude is something that you need to build it inside yourself. Okay, you need to find it. Are you passionate enough about something? Like Prateek was passionate about energy, right? So, are you passionate about that? Are you passionate about solving a problem? Okay, that's what is important. I actually have an inequality written. The people who are from maths would understand this. Okay, math stream. There is an inequality. I have written it for myself. Okay, when I get low, I have written it down. I have a write up for myself when I get low. Okay, and I go back to it. Okay, and that is, time is more important than money. Wherever you can just pay money and earn more time, just pay it. It's not, doesn't matter. Hire an employee to do something for you. Okay. Then habits. Habits are more important than time. If you damage one habit, as you were saying about routine, okay, self-discipline, if you damage a habit, okay, what is going to happen is you are going to lose time for 1 year or 2 years, or 3 years before you realize you made a terrible mistake. Okay. This involves staying up late for parties. Okay, you have to make social network and things. Okay, and then the people who are drinking, they would say, "Nahi yaar, ruk ja thodi der aur." Okay, no, you have to go back home at 10 o'clock and sleep off because you have to plan your day in the morning. Okay. Then focus. Focus is more important than habits. Okay, let us say you are focusing on wrong habits. Okay, you should be waking up possibly a little later during the day, and during the evening hours working up late to kind of approach European or US clients. Okay, so you need to choose your habits. What habits you need to choose. Okay? Then self-belief is more important than focus. Okay, absolutely essential. Okay, people will be critical of you, and if people are not critical to you, if people are nice to you, you will look yourself in the mirror and you will say, "Shit, what have you done? You should be a $1 billion company by now." Okay, so you will be self-critical of yourself. Okay, so that time self-belief is very very important. Okay? So this is the inequality. I have written it for myself, and I kind of use it to come back from every challenge that is out there. Okay. I hope that answers Bhagyashree your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, we would like to know Prateek sir's like view also on this.
Okay. So I have an escape here. So like JDP has written this inequality, I write a journal, and it's a habit for me. And my days they are usually planned. They didn't used to be that way uh, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. But now I plan 5 or 6 days in advance. My next day is usually planned. I end up writing, the major things that happened today, and I I'm really into staying organized. So I remain organized most of the time, and I have a checklist for the day. And even if I miss out on some of these things, it doesn't matter, because the thing is, your mind has something to look up to when it wakes up. It shouldn't be like when you're waking up and you have to think about what you've got to do today, and then you start conjuring up things. I have to meet this person, I have to go to Chandigarh, and then I have this call with someone. No. When you're organized, half of the job is done there, because you're satisfied that you gave it your all. But when you're not organized, it somehow starts becoming it starts piling up, and there comes a point when everything becomes so haphazard that you're confused. What did I start up to achieve? Where did I begin? Where I was going? And that's when these things are unavoidable, of course. So when that point comes, meditation helps. I meditate not regularly, but twice or thrice a week. I usually do it. And then of course, as Jaideep said brilliantly, like, focus is so important. You cannot lose path, and there would be times when you would actually be sitting alone in your room or in your car and wondering, why is this thing not working? The last one did. Why isn't this working? Why am I not able to achieve this milestone? You just got to keep in mind, there's still another day, and it's not the end of the road right there. If you keep going, there will be sunshine somewhere down the path. But yes, staying focused is important. You cannot you know give your all on 2 days, and for the next 3 days you're like, okay, this. So having a passion, it really helps. When you're working for your passion, it doesn't feel like work. And so as I told you, I write, and then I meditate also for sometimes. And one more thing, you've got to have this one person that you can go to always. And that one person, he or she might be your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your wife, your childhood friend, or maybe your grandfather or your grandmother, anyone. This one person should be the one whom you're not hiding anything from. There has to be someone where with whom you can just sit there, tell him or her everything, that I'm feeling this way, this happened, and maybe he or she would tell you the way out of it, and maybe he or she won't, but you will let it out, and that's how you stop things from getting piled up in the back of your head, and stop it from turning it into a huge. for your growth. So yes, I also have that person. I think Jaydeep must be having it too. It really helps, to have someone you go to and tell everything to.
Just one moment. I'll take. I want to comment on something Prateek said. Okay, because as a fellow entrepreneur, he kind of understands almost everything. Okay,
Yes.
so the important thing is we have talked about a lot of challenges that it is hard, it is hard, it is hard. Okay,
Mhm.
but something that he has said and that you need to cling upon is why. Okay. The most important thing that we need to be asking right now is why you should do such a hard thing, right? And another thing that he said is whenever he's getting low, that is when he's asking that why, as in why this is not working. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the important reason why somebody becomes an entrepreneur. Okay. You put yourself into such a difficult situation, okay, that you become somebody else. Okay.
Yes.
You are not a person who gets low. Okay, you may be thinking you are getting low, but you are actually not getting low.
Yeah,
Okay, you are just frustrated. That's all. Okay, you are actually a compulsive problem solver. An entrepreneur is a compulsive problem solver. He's a mad guy. He's a crazy guy. He will solve that problem.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll quote Marx on this. Okay, Marx said that if you give if you give a death sentence to a capitalist, okay, he'll sell you the rope.
Yeah.
Okay, so a capitalist or an entrepreneur is someone who finds opportunity in adversity, and that's his drug. Okay, give us any difficult situation, anything you give. I challenge you guys. You give me anything right now because I know what you can imagine. Okay, so give me anything right now, and I'm sure I'll solve that problem. Okay, I'm sure. I'm completely confident. Okay. Um, I mean, the reason you are actually doing all this, okay, is because you're so passionate about solving a problem. Okay, and that is what you go back to when you are at your lowest. Okay, and that is why every person among you, okay, it should actually be an entrepreneur if you can afford to be one.
Yeah.
Okay, if you think what it takes, please do that. You have what it takes. You have that ecosystem around you. You have support system around you. Do that. Okay, because as I said, it's about self-actualization. You will not even know at the end of your life what you could have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm
sorry. An entrepreneur has these set of solutions to 20 major national or world problems also. This is a typical problem with entrepreneurs. We would, if you start discussing national issues or particularly there's this situation, if you start discussing the water scarcity problem, the road problem, the highways problem, the airports problem, we have very good solutions for it, all of it. So if you have that knack, maybe you should be actually becoming an entrepreneur, because like Jaydeep said, it is absolutely true. We are problem chasers. We'll find we are the biggest critics. And if you're going from Delhi to Bombay via road, we'll definitely find at least 15 to 16 issues on our way there, and we'll have ready-made solutions for that. If I'm given this project, I'll do it this way, I'll solve this bottleneck this way, we can use this technology here. So these things, I think Jaydeep put it brilliantly. These are not your don't take these as problems. These turn into opportunities very quickly. You never know, and you've got to just always remember why you started. Everyone gets low at, So I also, like Jaydeep has written this inequality thing. I have a document that I've written, and I usually go back to it whenever I'm in some doubt, why I started. So just find out your why, and everything would be good. And like Jaideep said, this is an amazing career choice, and it would, I promise you, it would give you 1,000 times more experiences than any other career. 1,000 times at least.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. This was, I guess, the most deepest thing that we have heard in a few days, and it was amazing. So we have few questions that we're getting. So I would like Shweta Singh to unmute herself and ask the question.
Good evening, Jaideep and Pradeep. It's nice to have you. I'm Shweta Singh from PGP Batch 11. So my question is open to both of you. You have mentioned the importance of planning and being organized, but I think you have yourself experienced the dynamic schedule of IM and how hectic it's most of the time. So in that situation, how do we plan our day? How do we plan our business and execute it?
See, it's a compulsive nature. Okay. You will be thinking about certain solutions right now. Okay. Let us ask you. I'll make the. I mean, ask the question back to you and ask you: is there something that you're really passionate about? Something.
Yes.
Anything.
Yes.
What is it? What is that?
I like reading books and designing covers.
You like reading books and designing covers, right? Great thing.
Yes.
Okay. Can you stop yourself? Can you stop yourself if you're too busy for, let us say, a month? Can you stop yourself thinking, not maybe you are not doing it, but you may be thinking about it, right? Can you stop that?
No, I usually slip in my couple of chapters during the classes in the break.
Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do in the classes. But yeah, so you cannot stop yourself. It's the compulsive nature of a problem solver. It is compulsive nature of your. I think that's what the passion. That's what the word passion means. You cannot stop yourself. You don't have to worry that you will be an entrepreneur or not. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, you may not even know that you have become an entrepreneur, and you will still become an entrepreneur because it is something that you really want to do. It's self-actualization. Anything Prateek wants to add? Yeah.
Yes, like you said, Shweta, I just want to ask you, what kind of books do you like to read?
Mostly fictional and suspense novel, thrillers.
Okay, so maybe you have a career in writing. Yeah. It's up to you. I'm just saying. So I had one of my batchmates, Ankit Rathi. So he was the only other guy, who also opted out, and coincidentally, we were both the closest friends there. And he was from IIT Dhanbad. He wrote a book while he was in IIT Dhanbad. So for 3 years, he was really passionate about it, about reading. And the second thing he was passionate about was football. So can you guess what he wrote his book on? He wrote a book on football. And though, yeah, it was his first book, it didn't reach, those heights. But he was so happy, whenever when we used to sit together, and when the order for books, he used to update it, how many books have been sold. He used to be the happiest guy there. And that's why I asked you what kind of books you like to read, because I've seen this right in front of my eyes. He's passionate about reading. He ended up writing a book, and he was the happiest guy while we were in IIM together. And when you were talking about time, you have like what, 7 or 8 hours of classes, right? And remaining, you might sleep for say 7 hours or 8 hours. So you have again, how many? You have 7 to 8 hours more left. So you I think you'd be able to take out at least 2 hours for what you really want to do or what you're passionate about. It's not such a big deal if you really want to do it. And if it's not very difficult to take out time once you know what you want to do. You would be hell bent on doing it, while also, being able to make do with everything else, doing a slight bit of compromise on the marks you get, or, the pointers you have. But if it's a blessing if you get to know what you're passionate about. It's really a blessing, if you're able to introspect and get to know that this is the thing that I love to do. This is what I want to do in life. It's a blessing. Half your job is done right there. So if you get to know it, time won't be an issue. You'll be able to conjure up time. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you.
So the next question will be asked by Shivani. Shivani,
Hello,
you can.
sir. Hello, Jaideep. Hello, Pratik. My question is
Hi.
to Jaideep, sir. Since you worked in a corporate before, does the kind of mindset that you have, as you say that entrepreneurs are always into problem solving, whatever they see, they just try solving that problem and not really look at it like a problem. Does that kind of mindset actually help you during your job also?
No, it didn't. It created problems for me. It created huge problems. Okay. Not, I would not say that huge, because I have been liked quite well in the corporate circle. Okay. I have very strong relationships with everybody that I have worked with. Okay. So I'll give you a story, a small story, to tell you about what kind of a problem I faced. Okay. So uh, I was in the placement season. Okay. And my ask was too high. Okay. So because I had some experience behind me and I was expecting some good amount of salary coming back to me. Okay. So I was like, I was not getting enough. I was not getting any interviews in that segment. Okay, no company was offering that much. Okay, and now there was one company in the end called SSIPL who came in and they were finally, placement committee was pushing me. Okay, fine, you please take up this offer and go. Okay, so they really want to push you off the college. Okay, and I was about to be married to my batchmate. Okay. So I thought, okay, fine, let me just take up this offer. Okay. So not even offer these. I started appearing for these interviews, and I ended up appearing for 11 rounds. Okay, when everybody else in our college was let off in the first or second rounds. Okay, so the rest of the rounds were all me. Okay, I don't know what were they interviewing for. Okay, and I got so frustrated. I said, I'm booking a cab, coming to Delhi, meeting your CEO, and closing the chapter there itself. Okay, because I have to appear for other companies as well. Okay, so that's how my journey started into the corporate world. Okay, I was not really selected out of the campus. I went in and pitched myself. Okay, when I reached their office, they were not expecting me. I asked for the HR who has been calling me. I said, okay, you're Prerna. Okay, set me up with any guy that you have. Okay, and let me convince him if he or she can take me on the job, and if cannot, okay, fine, we part ways. Okay, what do you say about that? And she was like, "Who are you? Okay, how can you just walk into the office? Okay, I can. You have been wasting my time. I'm here to waste yours. Okay, so it was that. Okay, that's how my entry was into that corporate world. Okay, the CEO who sat in front of me, he said the reason that we are not able to decide is because everybody else that we have interviewed has 10 years of experience in retail, and we are hiring retail specialists, okay, who have been star of retail. Okay, the other two guys we have interviewed and who have been finalized to be your peers are a person from Bata. Bata is School of Retail. Okay, he has been a star ASM of Bata All India. The other guy is from Adidas. Okay, he has spent 9 years in Adidas. Okay, 5 years in Wills Lifestyle. Okay, and has financed his education while working for McDonald's and Domino's. So these are the guys you are up against, and these are guys that are stars in the industry. Okay, and you have zero retail experience. You are a programmer. You are an engineer. What will you do with them? Okay, they will eat you alive. Okay, are they cannibals? Okay, so I asked him only one thing. Okay, his name was Atul. Atul, the kind of work you do, I understand where you're coming from. The kind of work you do, is it very artsy? Is it like making movies or music videos or rangolis? He said, what are you saying? He was a CEO. He was taken aback. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, is it an artsy work or is it based on logic? Okay, because if it's something artsy, it's about the skill. Okay, but if it is about logic, you are talking to the person who comes into the 0.5 percentile of entire India in logic. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are not going to hold up to my logic. Okay, so he said, really? Okay, he was again a little bit. I sensed a little bit of anger on his face. Okay, then I tried to calm things down and I said, see, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to only think that my experience being zero is going to do is I have to ask you one question. Okay, that why are you doing this? If you cannot answer me right, then you are in a soup. Okay, so said, yeah, that's valid, and that's how I got my job. Okay, and then he gave me a mandate: rip everyone in this company apart. Rip everyone apart. You guys are like, the word he used was shikari kutta. Go and rip everybody apart. I would put a finger on one person that he is doing wrong and he's fired. He's fired in an instant. It scared me. Okay. Then I realized this is not me. And that's where entrepreneurship came in. It bounced back on the second day or the third day that I cannot do this. I mean, like, what the hell? I'm supposed to rip these guys apart. These guys are humans. I mean, like, I cannot use my logic just to damage somebody's career, somebody's livelihood. Okay. So what I did was, I said I have an alternate solution. I pitched it. Okay. I have a shot back. That's not going to happen. My solution was, why are you picking up on one person who has done something wrong? Pick up on the other person who has done the same thing right. Because what will happen is, if you pick up on that person who has done something right, you end up motivating that person because he has done something right, and you end up scaring the person who has done something wrong. Okay, the same thing. Let us say how stockroom is organized. Okay, so you end up appreciating one person who has a very well organized stockroom. Okay, and at the same time, people, the other 10 people who have a badly organized stockroom, get scared. Okay, fine, this thing is being noticed. Okay, I was immediately shut down. I was said, it's not about, your job is not about motivating people. It's an HR job. You are a retail specialist. Okay, go show off. Okay. So that was their solution. Now what I did was, I didn't do what my boss was saying. I told him that I'm doing that. You are soon going to get an email. I'm going to rip people apart. Okay. But what I did was, I went to stores, listed down what each store is doing. Okay, good, very well, the best on the Indian standards. Okay, I listed that down. I shot down a public email. Okay, marking almost everyone in CC. Okay, so every store which was doing something good got recognized. Okay, and I had a second list. Okay, which had everything bad about that store. Okay, I gave that secret list to the guy who was managing that region. Okay, that was a DGM. मैंने कहा यार कनिष्ठ देख ले यार ये भी चीजें हैं. Okay, so that guy became my loyalist, and I turned the region they could not turn around. It was degrowing -52%, and in 3 or 4 months that region started growing +4%, +10%, +14%. Okay, the thing that was degrowing -52%. That's what motivation does to you. But they were not ready to listen because I have no experience. Right? Now, what happened after that? I was the only person who was retained in the retail specialist position. Okay. The other 2 people resigned from the company in 5 months. Retail team, as they made it, was dissolved because the other 2 had resigned. I was the only one there, and then I was given a position of a business head. Okay. So what was the problem? As in why? What was the issue that happened in this entire episode? I could have lost my job. Okay, because I was defying the strongest person in the company, the most powerful person in the company, and it's scary. But my solution to doing things was do both the things. Double काम करना पड़ता है. Okay, you solve the problem your way, you solve the problem your boss's way, you satisfy the boss. Okay, you implement the solution. Okay, short term he's satisfied, and then the long term he's also satisfied. So you end up doing double amount of work. So that's what happened with me everywhere. I ended up doing double amount of work. That's me. I hope it satisfies you.
Thank you, sir.
So like
This IPL, is it Sports Station India Private Limited?
Yes.
Okay. So you must have met Kulwant Singh Budhwar also there.
Kulwant, no, I haven't. What was he managing?
What? He was VP, and I think the Moja factory and all that was.
That's a very recent one, and I was not looking at the factory operation.
Yes.
I was on the sales side.
Yeah, Kundli and Moja manufacturing was.
Yeah, Kundli and Moja, their factory is called Moja.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have planned a short rapid fire round for you if you want to continue.
Okay.
Okay.
So you need So there will be few questions. So there will be few questions. You need to answer them in a few word or a sentence, and you have 20 seconds for that. So
We have
first interview again.
So
Sir, you will have 20 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So first Jaideep sir would answer, and then Prateek would answer the same question. Okay, so I'm starting with that. So first question: describe your startup in 2 words.
Amazing and innovative.
Prateek sir.
Crazy enough.
Okay. Next question: one thing you would tell your 18-year-old self.
Study.
Prateek sir.
Study really hard. I really repent not studying really hard. Yeah.
Prateek sir.
Okay, now my turn. I would tell myself go out more often. I used to go out too often, but I still feel I didn't go out too often.
That's nice. Next question: favorite book for your startup enthusiast, according to you?
I don't read books. I serve them.
So
I
I
don't
have.
have time. I serve them.
So if someone is really into reading, I would, if he or she is into entrepreneurship, Atlas Shrugged. Then if you are a bit, if you have a bit politics leaning attitude, read A Feast of Vultures by Josie Joseph. And definitely Elon Musk and Steve Jobs biographies. Yeah, perfect. And also, please, if someone is curious enough, go through Robert Iger's biography. It's called The Ride of a Lifetime. He used to be Walt Disney's CEO for like 21 or 22 years. It's amazing. You would find like it's a Bible for someone who wants to be either a CEO or an entrepreneur. It's an amazing book. So I guess I crossed 20 seconds limit.
No issues, sir. Like that is a really good collection. That would be a. So our next question is: one thing you would not be same without.
Resolve.
Pratik,
Traveling.
next question: what is something you cannot do?
Oh, that is something that I really need to think about. God. No, I don't know. I think I think I cannot do a job. Yeah, that's very difficult for me. Very difficult.
That's a safe choice.
Yes.
Pratik, sir.
Same. I cannot. Yeah, maybe also. Yeah, so I cannot do a job, a corporate job at least. No.
That's a safe choice. Very much safe choice for both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have been given very extremely tempting offers, but I had to say no. I had to say
Yeah.
no. I mean, when I said, I mean, I have been offered such packages that I cannot even dream of. Okay, but I responded to those offers in 20 seconds, and I said no.
Yes, you're right. So I had not. I've rejected many job offers. My mother hates me for that. But also recently, 7 months ago, I got this offer from JV. They're a huge name in India, and I was awarded 2 projects by them, and it was a long-term association for 20 years. So what happened was their North region head calls me up along with the Haryana head, and I suddenly become a bit conscious of that tone, and they're like, Pratik ji, you would have to give your 24 hours to this venture for the next 14 months, and I had put up a year of hard work to 2 projects, and my answer at the end of the meeting was I don't want to be associated with them, and that fiasco it cracked them up, and I eventually ended up getting a call from the national finance head and also one of their strategy heads that this is the first time that we are being rejected after someone has been selected going through this whole process. But like Jaydeep said, if you try to control me, no, sorry, not possible.
I cannot go. I mean, the only thing I cannot do during a day is like stay in the office from 9 to 5. Okay, I need to step out to think. I want to go to Cyber Hub, take my laptop, have my lunch over there, have my meetings there. People will come over there to talk to me. I have to stay there.
Or if just a 50 kilometers or drive, I just meet someone I have to meet with. I'll ask them, do you want to drive? Yes, let's just go for a drive, have some coffee or somewhere. Let's discuss this over chai.
So
yeah,
living on your own terms.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Next question. When you hear of a successful entrepreneur, who do you think of?
When you
Hear of
fear,
a successful entrepreneur.
okay.
Fear.
Successful entrepreneur.
Acha, think of a successful entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm really inspired by Elon Musk. Not Steve Jobs, but Elon Musk.
Prateek.
He gave my answer. I had that book there. Elon Musk.
Okay.
Such an
One
amazing
point.
guy. You when you
Yeah.
see, look at his background, where he's come from, his struggles. It's amazing. All of you should read it. It should be made mandatory to go through his at least 2 or 3 of these guys' lives. You should go through it. There should be lectures on their journeys.
Okay. So our last question is, what is the best advice you have ever received?
Yeah, I have received a lot of advices, but actually the kind of guys we are, until we burn our hands, we really don't listen to advices. I mean, like, everybody is giving advice. Every person on a chai point is giving you advice. Okay, in a coffee shop is giving you advice. Your mother and father are giving you advice for the whole day. Okay.
Your cab driver is giving you advice.
Yeah. Or where to invest, they are giving advice. You don't listen to it. Yeah.
Some of the best
Yeah,
advice.
yes.
So what? One of my best would be Bhad Mein Jai. And there was this fix I was in. There was a huge government contract involved. It amounted to 1.7 or $8 million, and the guy was just playing with us. We came to realize he would not be handing over the document so easily to us. So I was sitting with one of my uncles, and he said, "Bhad mein jai." So we let the document go to hell, and after 6 months, he ended up approaching us. Why are you not doing anything about it? So yes, that was one of the best advices I've got.
So that was the coolest rapid fire we had. Yeah. So I guess Prateek sir, you told me yesterday something related to your app. So do you want to discuss about it?
Yes, so we've made an app called Locality. It ends with an I. I would be sharing its link with Bhagyashree. I hope it comes to you. She'll just share it with you. And presently, we've just made the Android version. The iOS version would be coming in 5 or 6 days. And we've formed an IAM community. Like I told you, it works. Majorly based on a community network. So if we have made an IAM community for it, you'd have all your different groups and your Swaniti or your eCell and also your batches groups. But the thing is, how it's different from the other ones is that there's no you don't have to approach someone to get to know whether or not such a group exists. And these will be pre-made groups, and you'll have authentication there. You can get authenticated through your roll number only. And presently we've launched it in Faridabad, Gurgaon, Fatehabad, a district in Haryana, and then Sonipat, in order to obviously test the different type tier cities. So maybe we can get to know your experience about it, and then the app can evolve with your precious reviews. So I'll be sharing its link with Bhagyashree, and also the iOS link. I don't know how many of you guys use Android now. I didn't know the exact percentage, but I was guessing somewhere around at least 20 to 30% must be using Android.
Yes,
So
sir.
we would shortly share the app with the batch, but like due to positive time, we will have to conclude now.
Okay.
So it was truly a great session, and we are really thankful for to both of you for sparing your time with us. And I would also like to thank different domain clubs at our college: Consulting Club, Humana Club, Finance Club, Mark Organon, and Alumni Committee for making this week possible. I would also like to thank our student community for taking such a great participation and enthusiasm during the week. Thank you so much.